Hello everybody, welcome to this blog about what's the deal with the changes to the PMP exam. My name is Ashley Hunt. I teach all the PMP classes here at Stormwind Studios, and I've just been getting a ton of questions from people who want to know what's the deal with the changes, when does it change, and where can I find information on those changes. So I wanted to discuss first and foremost what is not changing, and then talk about what is changing, and then finally, what it is that you need to know in order to most appropriately go through, gather the information that you need, where to find it, where to click, and all that good stuff. So I wanted to put together this to help you out with that, because it's important that everybody understands what those changes mean to them. Very first thing to keep in mind here is that the Project Management Body of Knowledge 5th edition is not changing. It is still the same tools, techniques, best practices, processes, and so forth. The 5th edition was updated a couple years ago, and everything in that 5th edition still holds true. So if you've already got your copy of the 5th edition PMBOK guide, you're good to go there as far as the courseware. However, the exam itself is changing a little bit. There are some things that are not changing, and there are some things that are. Very first thing, it's still 200 questions. It's still going to be a 4-hour exam. It's still going to have the same exact requirements that are necessary in order to sit, take the exam, and apply for, and all of that. But what has actually changed is going to be the fact that 25% of all of the questions on the exam have been adapted to those changes. Why are those changes there? Well, the fact of the matter is that the Project Management Institute did what's called a role delineation study. And from that, they've determined that the updates to the new exam, based on that study, needed to begin on the 2nd of November. When is the exam changing? The 2nd of November. So the fact of the matter is that if you're planning on taking your exam prior to November 2nd, you're going to be just fine and nothing will have changed. So if you've already taken my PMP prep course, you're good to go up until November 2nd. After November 2nd, though, the exam will change. And so the very next question that I always get from people is, well, are you going to update your content? Yes, absolutely, I'm going to be updating the content. I want to make sure that if you're taking your exam after November, that you have all of the good information that you need to take and answer those questions appropriately. And so anybody that's taking the classes after those changes have been made will have all the up-to-date information and be ready to take their exam November 2nd. Now, I'm sure that you have quite a lot of questions, and the ones that come in most of the time when people are asking questions about this is going to be, first and foremost, why did they change the exam in the first place? Well, as you know, being a project manager, the roles that we have adapt over time, and more responsibilities are needed in order to perform our roles much more effectively. And so based on this role delineation study that was done by the Project Management Institute, they determined that some of the tasks that we were doing weren't ultimately necessary in our day-to-day, and others needed to be added in. So that would attribute to how you answer questions on that 25% of the exam changing. What other questions are coming in? Well, the next question that typically comes in is, where do I find the information that I need? If you go out to PMI.org, which I highly recommend, it's got all the information for PMP certification, and they've updated their site to include all of the information that you'll need based on the changes to the exam. If you go out to PMI.org and you go to the PMP certification link, you'll see off to the right-hand side that you are going to have a Learn More button. When you click that Learn More button, it's going to take you to a readable, downloadable, searchable PDF that will give you all of the information that you are going to need in order to understand all of the changes based on that role delineation study. And if you're determining whether or not to apply, you can also apply here, once you have your credits and once you're ready to go. So I hope that all of that helped you out and that you now know where to go and why the changes have been made. And so all I can say at this point is I hope to see you in class either prior to November or after November. Either way, you're going to get the most up-to-date information to take and pass your PMP the first time. See you in class.